for me, I 100% believe this, that the key to your masculine fire is actually through your relationship to innocence, through your empathy. There's a great myth that details this wonderfully. It's called the Fisher King. Are you familiar with this myth?
I've seen the movie. I don't know if the
Yeah,
myth
the
is,
movie is funny. The
yeah,
movie
that
is
was a long
hilarious.
time ago. No, tell me about the Fisher King. I'm curious.
Yeah, so it's a medieval myth. And so when we look at these myths from a psychological perspective, we kind of look at them and understanding that each character represents a different sub-personality of like the multiplicity, the nature of the psyche.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these medieval myths, they're about like a kingdom of sorts. And so the kingdom is kind of our consciousness at whole, the totality of our consciousness. And so we have Parsifal, who's our young fool. And a lot of these stories, and you look at tarot, right? It always starts with a young fool. And what is a young fool but somebody who's unconscious, who doesn't know something? And then we have our Fisher King. And so our Fisher King spends a lot of time in the water fishing. And the water is the symbolism for the unconscious, right? He's unconscious. He's literally in an unconscious place. And Parsifal, young Parsifal, stumbles upon the Fisher King. Here's the other really important thing too, is that our Fisher King always has a wound. And he always has a wound in his like hip, in his thigh, more specifically in his sort of genitals, in his generative function, his sense of potency. He's not able to generate, right? He's infertile in a metaphorical sense. And so Parsifal meets this Fisher King. He doesn't know that he's the king. He sees him fishing, sees him on the water, and he feels this intuitive impulse to ask him, like, what happened to you? What's wrong? I see this wound. I recognize your pain. He has the impulse to lean in, but he snuffs it down and he decides not to. And as a result of that, Parsifal now goes on his whole hero's journey, right? He rescues fair maidens. He battles a dragon. He's got to battle the Red Knight, which is the red representative of power. Goes through this whole quest until one day he comes back to the kingdom and he sees the Fisher King again in the same spot, just fishing, same wound. And now this time Parsifal knows suffering. He has a wound of his own. So he asks him, what's wrong with you? What happened? And in that moment, the Fisher King is healed and the kingdom is restored to balance. So this myth informs us that empathy is actually the key to unlocking our masculine potency and fire.
Interesting.